In this product review video, I'm going to review the Athearn Ready to Roll Illinois Central Gulf road number 6031 EMD SD40-2. I was particularly excited when Athearn announced this particular model because we don't get very many locomotives in the Illinois Central orange and white anymore. With Athearn's Ready to Roll models, these come DCC ready. There is no decoder within the locomotive. They are ready to run on a standard DC layout, but they are not DCC. They do not have DCC decoders in them. So I am going to install a Digitrax decoder into this particular locomotive. I'm going to do that in a separate video, so please search my videos if you're interested in adding a decoder to a ready-to-roll model. But otherwise, we'll go ahead and continue on with this product review. So I essentially just removed the locomotive from the packaging. Once you get it outside of the box, Athearn does send a couple different pieces of documentation. The first one is the part sheet that shows the assembly and the different part numbers, and then also the just a flyer that tells you to sign up for their newsletter. Now, if you've ever purchased Athearn product before, you know that they come very well sealed. This particular box has an outside sort of blister pack, and then inside it has styrofoam, nice cradle that the locomotive sits in, and then some styrofoam to protect the handrails. So here's just a little bit closer look at the locomotive itself without the protective packaging. You can see that the paint is very, very sharp in this particular model, but let's take a closer look at some of the details. I did some research on the prototype SD40-2s to see how well Athearn recreated some of the subtleties of the prototype on this particular model. Now, even though this is a ready-to-roll model, I was very, very impressed with the details that Athearn puts into their locomotives. You can see it has the MU hoses that are actually they're not molded to the front of the model here. This does have the snowplow on it. These handrails are separately applied. It has brass sunshades. Both of them were separately applied. Probably the biggest thing that I'm a little, how should I say it, I'm not disappointed, but you have to be very, very careful. I noticed that some of the handrails here aren't connected real well, so I'm going to have to get a little bit of glue and glue these on. So you definitely want to be very, very careful with the rails. They are very not well attached. But some of the prototype information on the Illinois Central Gulf Road name that was specific to this particular railroad. It has the ratchet handbrake here on the side of the short hood. It has the frame mounted bell, the extended range dynamic brakes, and then the Sinclair antenna. One of the other pieces of prototype information that I found to be very particularly detailed about this model is it does actually have a General Motors logo on it. I don't know how well you can see that. I can't get the camera to zoom any closer. But this particular, the prototype was built in 1975, and that was when EMD was still a division of General Motors, so it does accurately portray the GM logo on this. Now, other specific things for the Illinois Central road name include the white handrails and then the white lines on the steps, which were safety features built in for the railroad personnel. Again, looking a little closer here to the rear of the locomotive, the grab irons are certainly separately applied. The MU hoses are separately applied. It does have a knuckle coupler. You know, very good detail again if you have Athearn products or are familiar with their models. They do a tremendous job of paying attention to the very fine details when they produce their products. So I was able to find one prototype photo of this particular model with the orange and white paint scheme. You can see that it's a black and white photograph, but again, looking at the picture of the prototype versus how Athearn produced their model, they did a spectacular job of recreating that on a ready-to-roll model. Here's just one more close-up of the nose of this locomotive. So now let's take it over to the layout and give it a test run.